What's up guys, Exotic here. This week is the last week of Season of the Deep, finally, and next up in the weekly raid rotation is Last Wish. If you don't already know, the Last Wish weapons got reprised with all new perk pools in Season 21, and boy can you get some juicy rolls on them now. This will be a fantastic opportunity to complete your weapon patterns and farm for some of the best DPS weapons in the game if you haven't already, before the launch of Season 22 and the new reprised raid, whatever it turns out to be. Speaking of the new raid, I'll be streaming the Day 1 raid race over on Twitch, so if you want to see live gameplay, come on over and hang out in the stream. I'll also be doing PvE helps in future streams when I'm able to, like GM helps, dungeon helps, and Artifice Armor farm helps, for example. Link to my channel is in the description. Also, as a reminder, if you need teammates for these farms, come join our growing community in the Discord server and come hang out. Again, link is in the description. You guys crushed the previous goal of 50 new members last week, so let's shoot for another 50 this week. With that out of the way, let's get to the weapons that you should prioritize crafting. The best weapon from this raid to add in your DPS arsenal is the Apex Predator. The Apex Predator is one of 2 rocket launchers in the game that can roll with bait and switch. The other is Cold Comfort from Ghosts of the Deep, and it's the only rocket launcher that can get reconstruction. These 2 perks make for an amazing auto-loading combo with enhanced bait and switch, giving you a 35% damage boost for 11 seconds, and enhanced reconstruction, which refills your magazine every 3.5 seconds, up to 100% after not firing the weapon. This weapon is such a luxury to have in your DPS setups and is very easy to use. All you gotta do is just do damage with the other 2 weapons within 3 seconds of each other, fire away and swap back to your other weapons to let reconstruction do the work for you while you continue to DPS. Recently I've started to prefer the Apex Predator over the Cold Comfort. Not gonna lie, I kinda think I slept on the Apex at first. Unlike the Apex Predator, the Cold Comfort takes so much setup to fully optimize for damage output. You gotta make sure you get enough kills with your other weapons before swapping to it. You gotta set up that finisher to proc restoration ritual, and all at the same time you gotta make sure that you're keeping enough ammo in your other weapons. And if you die, you lose your magazine overflow and you gotta do it all over again. It can just be such a headache to set up sometimes. That's why I prefer the Apex Predator over the Cold Comfort, unless I'm using my Hunter with Radiant Dance Machines. But anyway, moving on to the second weapon you should prioritize crafting for your DPS setup is the Techeun Force Fusion Rifle. This is one of the best fusion rifles in the game, if not the best, with the combination of either reconstruction or rewind rounds. It's up to you whether or not you choose reconstruction or rewind rounds, are both good. And controlled burst for a 20% damage buff and a 10% reduced charge time for 2 seconds after landing every shot in the burst. The other good option for an arc fusion rifle is the Loaded Question Adept from the Grandmaster loot rotation. It can also roll with controlled burst, but fires a lot slower than Techeun Force. The Loaded Question just feels so slow to fire, which costs you precious seconds in a DPS phase. The last weapon I recommend prioritizing to craft from Last Wish for your DPS options is the Supremacy. This sniper rifle can do some pretty good damage output with a quite unique roll of rewind rounds and 4th times the charm. You can literally fire all of your shots without ever reloading the weapon. 4th times the charm reloads 2 shots from reserves automatically from 4 precision hits within 3 seconds, and rewind rounds refills 70% of the number of hits from reserves when the mag is empty. It's literally a bottomless magazine. Give it a try if you haven't yet. I'm not saying it's meta, but it sure is fun and can be a great option for DPS if you need some range without taking up your exotic slot. Let me know in the comments what you think about these weapons and what roles you're looking to craft for your setups. So now that you're familiar with some of the weapons to prioritize, let's move on to the encounter. The best encounter to farm Last Wish weapons is the first boss, Kali the Corrupted. You technically don't need anything in terms of team comp if you don't want to, but you will however need someone on your team with Anarchy or some other kind of damage over time weapon or exotic to keep her from teleporting and successfully do this cheese. If you don't have Anarchy, I've heard that Necrotic Grips also work, but I've personally never used it, to be honest. Let me know in the comments if you guys have successfully successfully done the Cali cheese with something other than Anarchy. I'm genuinely curious to see what else you guys have made work. However, if you want to be fully optimized and farm as efficiently as possible, I would recommend your team to use Solar Hunters with Golden Gun Marksman and Star Eater scales for the extra 70% damage buff to your super. You can even have one person in your fire team run a Bubble Titan with Crest of Alpha Loopy and Tractor Cannon for extra orbs upon super cast to max out your Star Eater scale hunters and provide a 30% debuff to Cali. Again, this isn't absolutely required, but can make your runs go faster. All you gotta do is have your team stand by the plate to the right closest to the rally flag and you're ready to begin. When the encounter starts, have one person on your team stand on the plate to summon Cali to that area. Just make sure to stand on the part of the plate that doesn't have a blight on it or you will die. But once she teleports over, you can get off the plate. Meanwhile, have your teammate with Anarchy run over to Cali to start the encounter. Once her shield drops, stick her a couple times with Anarchy and head back over to your teammates. Right before she teleports, have your Void Titan drop their bubble behind the team to get your hunters up to 4 times Feast of Light on their Star Eater scales, and the person with Anarchy needs to shoot a few rounds into the ground to set a trap for Cali so she doesn't teleport. From there, pop Tractor on her and just keep spamming golden guns on her head over and over again. You will absolutely delete her even faster than my background gameplay here. If you don't have your golden gun up, just double slug, shotgun swap in between supers. With a full coordinated fire team doing this strat, you can easily get your runs to about 30 to 45 seconds each roughly, just depends on how many shots you may or may not miss, but it's nuts how fast she dies with the headshot bonus damage. Also, I forgot to mention that you should equip 3 kinetic surge mods on your legs to get an extra 22% bonus damage on your golden gun. Kinetic surge boosts golden gun damage if you didn't already know. Once her health is gone, stop shooting her and wait until she disappears and then reappears again. Once she does, shoot her a few more times until she's fully dead. As you get your loot, have your fire team leader just relaunch the raid and it'll put you right back to the beginning of the encounter. No character or checkpoint swapping is needed at all. That is going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the guide on the Cali farm for Last Wish Red Borders. Definitely take some time to finish your pattern progress for these weapons if you haven't already so that you're prepared for the new season. Also, let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to the most in the new season. Personally, I'm excited about the exotic mission rotators and the returning seasonal weapons like the Hollow Denial and the Callous Mini Tool. I'm super pumped they're coming back and I'll finally be able to craft them since I missed out on them when I wasn't playing D2. If this video helped you out, drop a like and consider subscribing for more Destiny 2 tips, tricks, and guides. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy farming and have a great day.